what would you say would be the five essential things we just need to do for the next blueprint for maybe 20 years moving forward?
Well, this is the first thing is to consolidate as a community of like-minded people who will implement the things necessary for survival along those years. If you don't find the like minds that's ready to go to bat, to go to grind, to consolidate all resources to a collective mind, all you need is three or four people, five people to actually create that condition, or two or three families together that pool their resources. That's what they don't want us to do. They don't want us to pool our resources. I would say get off, if you do have the ability, get off of this particular dollar system right now. Start converting to gold with Glint, Glint pay, PAY.com, GLINT PAY.com, and begin to move your resources out of the banks and into their system, which is essentially the ability for you to purchase gold. You can purchase gold directly, and then you can actually request from that purchase a MasterCard so that you're spending gold. Then I suggest that you deal with getting food and start consolidating a lot of the places where you can actually buy food. And this is survival food. Right now, it's about survival. It's not about you thriving like in the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden is going to come down the line after we go through the conflagration. There has to be a conflagration, just like any healing. When you're healing from a disease and you're doing it naturally, you know you're doing it naturally when you're suffering. Understanding natural healing is a process of correct suffering. It's called orthopathy, correct suffering. And that's what we have to do, corrective suffering. At this point, we have to be able to get away from our appetites and our addictions to certain foods and certain habits, and begin to consolidate those energies and buying food, consolidating and getting water and storing water, and getting foods that are cans and foods that are perishable. Get weapons to protect what you are bringing together, and making sure you take your children completely out of this damn system, this system that is satanic in its nature, changing up. Did you know that when the worship of Satan is to defile the will of the universal creator, and to destroy everything that the creator is basically put down as the law. So what they do is they subvert it. They subvert your language to subvert your thoughts, so that they subvert your habits, subvert your sex. All of these are part of the battle strategies. So take your children out of school, consolidate with groups of families that can get your resources together, get out of the finances and get into the system, and what I call a compelled benefit. I'm not talking about, they talk about going from fire into the fire. Dr. Valentine's putting you in from the fire. Where are you going to go? What's your power? Do you own land? Do you own an army? Right now, everything that you're doing is being compelled. You're being compelled to do it. So the compelled benefit is to do what you can to fight a guerrilla fight, a warfare, by using things that you know after investigation. Don't just listen to me. After doing your due diligence, doing those things that you know you will survive through a guerrilla warfare. Because this is what we're going to have to learn to do. Tighten our belts, learn and teach your children who the enemy is, and to make sure you understand where you need to go when it all hits the fan. But one thing I would suggest to you, my brother, get yourself a good weapon, and get yourself the military armor, and good, and go to a state where you can actually have your weapons and carry them, like where I am.
Okay, Hotep, beloved. Stay great. Stay prosperous. You to you and the
Say to you,
family.
bro. Say to you, bro.
Peace, Enoch. Let's get to another caller. We gonna do about two more. Is good with you, Doc?
Two more is good.
All right. Let's get to Shirley White. Shirley White, what's going on? You got a question?
Yes, peace to
Peace.
you, Brother Reggie. Peace to you, Dr. Valentine. I had a question for about your schooling. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I was wondering what would be good for her. Cause I see the handwriting on the wall with the school system now, and everybody pulling their kids out of school. So I was
Hmm.
wondering what would be good for her learning. Cause I noticed that she's not gonna be able to do the things that me and her dad used to did going off to school and college
Right.
and stuff. These are different times now, so I'm trying
Mhm.
to prepare my
Very good.
family and loved ones, even
Good
though
point.
some of them
Yes.
don't listen. But I just wanted to get information on that.
Yeah, good point. Good point. She's a little young right now, and her mind is distracted easily. She's discovering herself at this point at 3 years of age. It's all about self discovery. She's gone
Mhm.
past the stage, which is the 2 years of age, where it's me, mine, no, 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 and she's past that stage now. Now she's identifying herself through putting on little clothing, and she likes to look in the mirror at herself. And this is the point where you just nurture her child. Don't have her grow up too fast. So what you
Okay.
do is there are certain things like and they may have it. They may have black children in this, but you should get a program called Little Einstein.
Little
It's called Little
Einstein.
Look up Little Einstein, and shift it over into do it through your own teaching methods. I would also suggest that you go up to ISM Homeschool, ISM
ISM.
Homeschool.org, ismhomeschool.org. That's us, but we only take children in from 6 years of age and up. You can also go to UKS, and I think that Brother Richard put it down there. Go to uksnow.org,
UK.
uksnow.org, and go up to where it says books. And there may be some books there that you can actually have for the child. There's maybe coloring books that show children how to read Medu Neter or the hieroglyphics and so forth. But for a 3-year-old child, taking children to museums to see ancient Kemetic statues, ancient African statues, you are the one that the child is going to trust for the truth. So
Yes.
making sure that your father and the mother are teaching the child the wholesome way to learn, and make sure that your teaching is tactile. You don't want the child to just think that experiences are just based on a book, on a two-dimensional flat screen. You want to take that child and make sure that whatever that child is learning about can be touched, can be seen in 3 dimensions. That then begins to grow both sides of the brain, because today they're only growing one side of the brain with what
Yes.
they're teaching in school today. So teaching is more of a tactile situation for children. They have a short attention span, but what they do have is that ability to go into that space of imagination. Give her things that she can grow into by be learning to master certain things to put blocks into squares, circles into circles, and so forth. That begins
He
to
already doing that.
good. That begins to develop both sides of the brain, but you're on the way. So ismhomeschool.org, that's for children 6 years of age and up. But
You
if
said
you want
ISM
ISM, Institute for Self Mastery, that's what it means.
.org.
ISM homeschool.org, yes. And the other one is for the adults, but there in that adult site, you can go to find the books, and that's
Okay.
uksnow.org. That's the University of Commission Sciences.org.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Thank
call.
Good luck.
thank
All
y'all.
right.
Peace and
Peace.
blessings to you,
Peace and
brother.
blessings.
Peace, Shirley. Let's get to I think this is gonna be the last call we take. Let's get to Dragon Manifest. Dragon Manifest, what's going on? What's your question, my brother?
Peace to the gods. I'm gonna make this real fast as I can. You nailed it right before Shirley did. Land, land, land. You got to buy land, my people. Um I started buying land in 2020. My land has 2x and 3x. I do have crypto, I do have stocks and other investments, but I'm telling you, family, um, buy land. Right now, you could buy land $50 down, $50 a month, no credit check, all that good stuff. Just check on the internet. Also, I talk about it on my channel, and I wanted to really ask a question of Brother Rich. Um, Look me up. Would you consider bringing me on your show to talk about land and buying land? Because to me, that need to be 70% of your portfolio. Bill Gates buying it up, Amazon buying it up, BlackRock buying it up. You know what I mean? Land should be
Yeah.
everyone's portfolio.
Let me answer your question. I get what you're saying. Do you have a YouTube channel where you already
Yes,
talk?
sir.
All right, email me. I'm gonna put my email in the comment section, and you can email me your information so I could investigate you and check you out. All right, my brother.
And
Okay,
while
it'll
you're at
probably
it,
come from Dragon buys houses or Dragon buys homes, something like that.
I got you, brother.
and what you
All
need to
right,
do is
peace.
also interface with the black farmers as well.
I do. I do.
Good,
I'm farming. We on the well, all that good stuff. I want to share the information out there.
good.
Okay, thank
Very
you,
good.
brother.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Peace.
Since
Peace.
that technically wasn't a last question, let's get to one more. That brother just wanted my email, so I'll look you up, brother. I see what you about, Dragon Manifest. Uh, Lady Bell, what's happening? You got a question?
Hi, yes, I have a question regarding I've created a child with someone who's in and out, and they seem to be as well kind of more on the matrix side. How, like, what advice would you give in that situation?
How old is the child?
Just turned 1 years old about 3 days ago.
Well, you're the God in that child's life right now. Mother is God until the age of 7. So you have all that time to mold the infrastructures of your children's mentality or your child's mentality. That child is a blank slate right now, and you are the one that's writing on it.
Mm.
So don't worry about dad. Dad is somebody that children learn later on. They learn discipline, and they come to that discipline when they have reached the age of 7, or what they call the age of reason.
That's what I also believe. But in the situation, dad knows that, I think. Their spirit knows that, and dad has run off with the child.
Excuse me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't have the child with you?
Hmm.
The child is with you or not?
No, it just happened last week.
Well, I'm not sure.
Around his solar return, it happened.
But do you know where the child is?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure what the personal circumstance is, but I think that you need to talk to whomever the father is, and you'll come to some kind of understanding over that child, because he should come to the understanding that whatever it is that he has as a plan for the child, that you all need to lock in on the fact that that child is going to be your caretaker when you can't take care of yourself anymore.
Mhm.
So what kind of mentality are you going to engender in that child? Is it a nurturing one? Will that child love you unconditionally?
Right.
Arguing and fighting and tugging and pulling. It's going to come down to that Solomon decision. Let's cut the child in half. Each one of y'all take a piece. And the one that loves the child the most will say no, give it over to the other. But understand, you're going to be all right. But you have to talk, and you have to talk without emotions, with the
Yeah.
focus of the child in mind, paramount. Okay?
All right,
So
thank you for
that's
calling. Peace. Whew, Doc, what a show!
yes, sir.
Wow, wow,
Yes, sir.
some amazing advice you gave out tonight, Doc.
Give thanks, give thanks. I haven't been out in the sun or anything in a long time. I've been so busy writing my book,
Yeah,
you know, and I fell asleep on it. But I saw the Jupiter ascending. It was nice, To what just get, Europeans just keep putting themselves in everything
yeah.
that has to do with spirituality in the future, and the people that are actually working what they call Operation Looking Glass.
Mm-hmm.
The people who do The Simpsons are part of a government experiment in time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Simpsons they done made so many predictions, Doc. Oh man.
Yeah, and what it is remember the Illuminati, whomever they call themselves, they need to tell you exactly what time it is, but the mode in which they tell it does not have to be exact. They
Mm,
can leak the information out to you, and if you are along, because we have a lot of decoders out there. The
yeah.
people are only catching up now because of what it is that the Simpson has been. They purposely allowed the Simpson to go on for nearly 10 or 11 years until they caught up with what the Simpsons were doing.
Mm,
And so now the Simpsons have been telling you exactly what's been going on. We're finally seeing that people are paying attention to them. But
Mm-hmm.
what it is you remember, they know what the energy called karma really is.
Mm-hmm.
They know that every action has a equal and opposite reaction. And that equal and
Mm-hmm.
opposite reaction could come back on them unless they prepare the way. So if you have knowledge of what they have the ability to do or have been doing, and you're not taking any precautions or considerations to be the countermeasures to those, then they have no problem doing what they're doing because you have acquiesced or you have tacitly consented.
Mm. Indeed.
They need your consent the same way
Indeed.
that they need your signature when they have to create money to give you a loan for
Mm-hmm.
money that does not exist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So your consent, because you are the value. Your body and your energy is what's used to actually run this economy. But
Mm-hmm.
now the economy is, if you notice, the economy is going belly up. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they have to eliminate so many people because
Mm-hmm.
they have to eliminate the debt. And who is the debt? You.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You gonna be talking about that the whole debt and the finances on
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, you're gonna
Towards the end, I'm going to be speaking about what you need to do with your finances right
uh,
now.
right.
And a lot of people have been playing games, and a lot of things have been coming out around what they call XRP and Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And you see all of the super huge people like BlackRock and the rest of them have been,
Whew.
and Wall Street have been building up Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, that's a farce because their real money is going into the other forms of liquidity that will be used in the future. And those forms of liquidity are going to be on the blockchain, which is cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are cryptocurrency that they're going to be using in order to deal with the debt and to put more liquidity into the system is XRP, XLM,
Mm-hmm.
XDC, and each one of these will be dealing with a different aspect of commerce
Mm-hmm.
and banking.
Right.
The banking system will be using XRP so that they can deal with interoperable commerce as well as payoffs and channeling monies, trillions of dollars back and forth each day.
Mm-hmm.
XLM will be used by us as a paying system that you will be in charge of,
Mm-hmm.
and XDC will be dealing with contracts and how you can deal with contracts cyberly and
Mm-hmm.
how to keep up with those and so forth. And then there's of course there's IOTA, there's HBAR, there's Cardano,
Mm-hmm.
and these are my top seven
Mm-hmm.
because of what they have proven. And I would suggest to everyone to read the white paper for each of these particular programs so that you
Mm-hmm.
get a better idea of where you're putting your money.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right. Definitely look forward to Sunday and that part of Sunday especially.
Hmm.
Let's get to some Q&A real quick because I see people filling up the back. We're gonna be on here about an hour. Doc's gonna be talking for 10 hours this weekend, so I don't want to keep him up too late. He's been doing a lot of promo lately, y'all. So
Yeah.
like I said, let's keep this to one question. Let's get to I see Danny's first. Danny, what is going on, Danny?
Hey,
Danny,
family.
all
Yeah,
right.
I noticed that. Hey, family.
How you
Hi.
doing?
Just want to say greetings and get to my question I had in the last show with you.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm a little nervous. I don't know why.
It's all
But
good.
hey, y'all. So I have a question. We were talking about like how water has memory. So I was like, wow. I wonder does like the other elements like fire or wind have memory also?
Yes, that's a good point. It's part of the word, and the word is something that you hear as sound, and sound is actually the reverberation of consciousness at a particular level or at a specific frequency. So your voice has a particular print that is unique in the universe. So as you begin to speak, you create a unique pattern, a unique signature in the atmosphere, in the waters above. And then those things are like you as a woman, you incubate life in water within you.
Mm.
So thoughts are incubated in the waters above as well. How strong they will become is based upon the intention that you placed on these thoughts, how much strength you put into it, how much attention, how much meditative concentration you've placed in these thoughts. And what you're doing is you're growing this fetal energy into a particular situation, person, place, or thing. And that's
Mhm.
why you are a creator. You were created by a creator, so therefore you hold the DNA of the creator in
Yeah.
you.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Hey,
Um.
Danny, I appreciate the question. We got to keep it moving with other people tonight, but thank you so much. All right, Danny, you hear me? Oh, she's cutting in and out.
Hmm.
Let me see something's up with her camera.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, she's gone. All right, shout out to Danny with the question. Let's keep it moving to Kevin Gonzalez. Kevin, what's up, my brother?
Yo, peace, brothers, peace. How you doing?
What's happening,
¿Cómo
man?
está bien, papi?
So my question is, today in my reality, where I stand, my wife is the one who is working, and I'm proud of her. She's gone a long way. She makes enough for us to continue, you know, having our environment exist in the way it does with bills and whatnot. While I stay at home with my kids, here we are eating dinner, listening on into the episode. And as I'm sitting here, my question is this would this be a form of the balancing of both sides of being, the the feminine part and the masculine as well, those two energies. Is this would this be an example in my reality of those things balancing? And I'm continuing on the side with my own stuff, building content, partnering with people, but also bringing out a message to the people. But besides that, like again, my main question is my by me doing my due diligence and my duty as a father here at home right now, am I balancing those scales?
You're
And is
doing
that
what
what
you're,
you call it?
yes, you're doing what you're supposed to do as a good man. You don't need to actually make any excuses or think you need to have excuses in order to do what you have to do to take care of your family. I had to do the same thing, but I actually worked from my home. And what she's doing is supporting you so that you grow and take over from her when the time comes. So I know that you're not going to just sit idly and let her work. You're doing something that you're going to do to work so that you can stop her from working to come home and be the mother that she was actually created to be. So don't there's no shame in it, brother. Right now everybody's in survival mode. And whatever it is she's doing, she's a good woman. She's doing what she needs to do, just like you're doing what you need to do. And the most important thing right now are those seeds that you are growing in the soil of what you have as your convictions. Those convictions are the soil. Those children see what it is to cooperate, what it is to be a good man and a good woman. So have no fear, don't be shamed. You're doing exactly what is necessary. I applaud you, by the way.
Thank,
Thank you,
thank,
thank
thank,
you.
thank you, thank you for coming on, Kevin.
Peace, peace.
Peace, my brother. All right, let's once again, family, make sure you sign up this Sunday. I'm gonna share the link. Let me put this link up because we're all getting ready. You know, they had the Super Bowl last Sunday, so we gotta have our Super Bowl this Sunday. You know, we gotta have our event. We gotta have our event this
Yeah,
Sunday.
but we're not gonna be phony. We're not gonna script anything
Oh
other
yeah,
than the truth. You know
oh
what I mean by that, right?
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. February 18th at 2 p.m. is going down. Just share the link. Let's keep it moving. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Tanithia Sky Goddess. I appreciate it. Let's keep it moving with my brother Freedom Culture. Freedom Culture, what's happening, my brother? What's your question?
What's going on, brother Rich? How you doing, brother Valentine?
How you doing, brother?
My question is, I simply wanted you to, can you expound on what the currency of our attention is worth?
It's a good one. The currency of your attention is what it is that moves the entire planet forward. And that's why they want it so badly. And that's why you pay so unconditionally. Your attention is no longer conditional. It's unconditional, which is why it doesn't give you anything. When your attention becomes conditional, it means you become more focused. It means that you have a purpose, and that purpose is not being interfered with. There are no jamming signals or frequencies against it. And your intention and your attention are working together to move you forward against all the obstacles that the beast will put before you. And so I applaud those who actually are asking questions on this level because the mind is where they're attacking. That's where the war is going to take place. They already told you that we do not fight against men. We fight against principalities in high places. They talk about high places, they're talking about higher frequencies. So when you have that type of attention, brother, and you're dealing with the attention and you're sparsely giving it out, and when you give it out, you give it out in small pieces. You do not open up yourself completely to the type of nonsense that's going on. Make sure that the money that you pay, that you call the psycho-spiritual currency that you pay with your attention, make sure that you are getting back what that attention has actually been released for. In other words, when your attention is being given, when you're paying it, what are you receiving back? Make
Okay.
sure that whatever you're receiving back is worth it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank
the
you.
question, my brother. Take it. All right, peace. All right, let's keep it moving. We started off great so far, y'all. We started off great. I could just imagine how the workshop is gonna be. This Rico, your device is not connected, Rico. So I gotta keep it moving to Razor Sharp. What's happening, brother?
How you doing? How you doing? First, just want to say thank you
All
to
right.
both of you. And my question is, so I'm extremely sensitive to all energies, everything around me. I've been dealing with this for a while. I do acupuncture, I do qigong, you name it. So, as I went into a dip dive, I was told by someone who's currently kind of like a life coach for me. He said that non-physical beings sometimes travel through power lines. I'm just wondering if this is something you've ever heard about, or if there is any truth to it, or because I'm in the process of moving, and I've bought all this feng shui books, and I'm trying to figure things out. So just seeking
Yeah,
some advice.
yeah, that's a good question. This very thing that you're doing right now with me is non-physical. So non-physicality can travel through any forms or medium of constraint energies. In other words, if I have a wire that conducts energy, thought is energy, different types of ideas are energies, they permeate the atmosphere. So anything that you have as an electronic device that consolidates energy into specific patterns for communication, you can have entities that can actually align themselves with that energy. And that's why you have to be very careful about the words that you intone in your mind while you're listening to the music, especially. The music is definitely a place where they are actually using demonic frequencies to open up certain ideas that they're placing in the atmosphere, in the waters above you, so that you are now, through precipitation, through consciousness, they call precipitation, you are, it says precipitation and condensation. Those two things that you see that happen in waters happen in ideas as well.
Hmm,
So, since you are in water, condensation of thought and consciousness, precipitation of thoughts and consciousness are the same. You can actually intone demonic frequencies or frequencies that I will speak about tomorrow on Sunday that cause your energy, cause your whole reality to spiral downward into the lower frequencies, into the lower chakras. And that's what they're doing with the music. They're using demonic frequencies to offset the higher frequencies that would open your first eye. So yes,
thank
you're on point with that. I would be very careful about the signals that you allow into your home and into your brain and into your house, into your TV, into everything. Get yourself, and I say this before we go, get yourself there's this blanket that you can get. It's a little expensive that you could put over your TV, like what I put over my TV, what I put over my computer, that blocks out any energies that they can actually reverberate through your TV while it's off.
God. All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you,
Hmm.
my brother. All right, peace. All right, all right. Let's keep it moving to my brother David. Well, I ain't see you in a while, man. What's going on, Dave?
Yeah, what's going on with you? Hope y'all doing well. Really good to see y'all.
Doing great, my brother. I like that. What's your question, my
I
brother?
appreciate you. Yo, my question is that just by doing some clearing work and you doing a lot of shadow work and you just, in those places where you kind of, well, not kind of, but you are expanding. What is the best way? Because I think I'm having a hard time with this to integrate that old person or the old persona that you kind of created. Because that persona you created protected you, was there for you, but now that is not necessarily needed the way that is was needed. You need something, you're a new person and that kind of thing. How do you integrate that, or what's the best way to integrate that, or some suggestions to integrate that to everything else you want to do moving forward?
Well, that's because you're looking at it as two separate things.
Right.
It's not. When you think that you're moving from something old into something new, all you're doing is refining yourself.
Hmm.
We live in a place where duality exists. So we have a tendency to deal with things in dual purposes. They're not. It's all one thing.
Right.
And when you come out of the fact that it's actually a movement within your own developing consciousness, you
Hmm.
don't see it as something separate from what you were before as old and something that is new. All I see is refinement.
Hmm. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that question, David. I really like that
Yeah,
one.
good
Appreciate
question.
y'all. Hey, y'all keep doing your thing, yo. Keep blessing us
You,
and keeping us, ahead of all the different games and tricks. So
you,
appreciate y'all.
you, you, uh,
Brother.
you coming to the workshop on Sunday, Dave?
I gotta work and my daughter's gotta
Okay.
dance, so I won't
I
be able
hear
to
you.
be
I hear
available.
you. It's
All
all
right.
good. It's all good. But I'll
All
see you next time. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Y'all take care.
All right, peace. All right, let's keep it moving. We got a UBU Studios. What's happening, my brother?
Man, what's up, Rich and Doc? How y'all doing?
All right.
right. Brother looking like, what's his name? Redman.
Oh, word. Say, Doc, man, whatever, man. Say, bro, I got nothing but love for you, bro. I've been rocking with you for years. Rich, thank you for this platform, my brother. Everything is organized to the T, exactly like I would expect nothing less from you, my brother, for real, for real. But
Thank you.
look, Doc, this is my question right quick, right? I really want you to get into them demogorgons, you feel me?
Oh,
Ithriel, Ariel,
mm.
Medusa, and Stano, you understand? And
Yeah, I would not be able to do that because it would go too deeply into what it is that got this brother knocked off the air the last time. So
Mm,
I don't mind doing it, but in the Patreon, I might be able to do that. But
mm.
if I start doing Medusa and dealing with the Gorgon and the whole 9 yards, then I have to put it into what's happening today and
Wow.
how they are using it and weaponizing that particular factor today at the microscopic level. So,
Yeah.
right, that's it.
right. So I'm registered for the seminar this weekend. So we going over that?
No, well, I'm going to touch it based on the superconscious. I'm not going to get down into the minutia of it, but when I do have my webinar, the Web Archive webinar coming up, then they definitely that particular one that I did, which I believe what was it called, Blood Wars.
Mm.
That's what that came out in Blood Wars. If you remember Blood Wars,
Yeah. So Doc, if you can't answer them questions, then I'm gonna ask the general public one because I know Rich got it popping with at least 2,000 people in here. You feel me?
yes,
People want to know about the XRP and the XLM. You feel me?
oh
What's
yes,
up? What's up with the hacking with the XRP, right?
yeah,
And what's going on? Because I know that's going to be the new thing going forward in the future. I just
hmm
really wanted you to like expound on that and get the people up to date on that because we got a lot of bread in the XLM, the XDC, the ADA, right? The H bar. You heard me?
all right, brother, you
And
on it now? You on the
that
future? Hmm.
and a quant. So I just wanted you to
Yes,
spill the
quantum,
beans
right.
on that a little bit. You feel me? We could touch on that without getting our brother Rich with the algorithms, with the AI intelligent alarm system ringing off. You feel me?
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm glad that you're doing this, that you're doing this for your family because what you're doing is time traveling. You're living in the future right now, and you are setting your future now. You are plowing the soil for your future and for your family. I could tell you that don't go for the FUD, what they call fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Right now, it's going to be real deep because those who don't want you to actually to profit from what's getting ready to go down. They want to maintain you in that slave mode. This is taking you outside of that. You're going to have to sit. This is a long journey. This is something that they want to flesh you out. They're going to put all kind of garbage out. They're going to say, "Oh, why is it that XRP ain't rising with Bitcoin, for example?" And Bitcoin is who's buying up Bitcoin? Nothing but the people who's playing the game at that level. You can't really buy Bitcoin now because the damn thing is $40,000 for a coin. Who got money for one coin? You
Mm.
don't. So what you're doing is they're playing games. They're playing at an elite level that you can't play in, and they're making you believe that that's where the worth is because it's worth so much money. But it is not the future. The very thing that I did in one of my webinars when I spoke about who it is that Satoshi Nakamura was, the very word Satoshi Nakamura comes down to being Central Intelligence in Japanese. That's what it means. So Satoshi is not really a person, it's a group of people who created Bitcoin to circumvent the happening of World War III because of what we're dealing with as far as the currencies are concerned and what's getting ready to go when they start the banks start taking your money and you can't get access to it. So what I'm saying to you right now is make sure that you deal with gold, silver, copper, and platinum. The gold is God's money. Silver is the queen's money that you're talking about. These are the 2 and 3 and 4 different properties of wealth that they call God's money. Get those and put those aside because gold getting ready to hit 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 7,000, 10,000. Why? Because they need to deal with the quadrillions. They need the worth for the dollar to go up. So what's going to happen is once XRP is put into the system, all the money that they're holding for the Rostrodostro, when all the money that each one of the banks around the world are holding in order for it to do a business, all that money is going to come back to them. In other words, I'm here in the United States. I want to send money to Switzerland. Switzerland needs to hold US dollars in order to be able to verify the transaction. Once the cryptocurrency gets into it, that money is going to come back to us. That money is going to come back and be part of the liquidity necessary to do business transcontinentally. So yeah, I would say put your money aside, get your crypto, sit on it like an egg ready to hatch. Don't go. It's, oh my God, it's dropped down to 40. Oh my God, it's going all the way to 57. Sit on it and wait. This is a waiting game. That's all I can say to you right now.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Gotcha, Doc. Much love, man. Blessings to you.
peace,
Thank
my
you.
brother. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Rich, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I love y'all both. For
Thank you,
real.
brother. Thank you.
All right, bet.
All right. Let's get to shout out to that brother right there.
Mhm.
Let's get to the next question. Who's this? Dr. Zach Caxo. I don't know if I said that right.
It's Chuck Cachocho. Greetings. I'm
Chaco Choco.
contacting you from the rainforest of the Yucatan. We call it the Yakutanai, but you all call it the Yucatan rainforest. And
She was
I had a question for Dr. Valentine. Here in my homeland, a lot of the information exchange is a lot more organic, less human centric, more ecocentric.
there.
Ecocentric in a sense that there's a deep understanding that we are a part of a system, a web, a mycelium mandala, an organic internet, as opposed to a human centric uh, based understanding of a lot of the sciences and things that I see being exchanged on this channel and other channels. And I would like to see what you have to say about that as far as the ecosystems, the fact that abundance is perpetual within nature, and the fact that they're trying to have us focus on a scarcity mind to keep us locked into a specific matrix that they are in full control of. Thank you.
Well, what I could say to you in the old Mayan, Iva Maya Maho, I am another yourself, and I understand exactly what you're speaking about. Uh, the Mandelas that used to be put down, especially by the people that call themselves the Navajo, that was the way they communicated. The specific Mandelas would then speak to them based upon if you look at your particular sigil that you have there, that sigil is a programming. That programming there that you put up there is causing the intonation of certain frequencies that bring about a certain set of information that is picked up on the subtle levels of the consciousness of each human being. So, yes, we communicated with trees. I grew up in the bush. I knew about the fact that communicating with trees and how trees communicated with you, how the birds talked to you based upon how the wind spoke to them. I understand that we had our own Wi-Fi system, and that Wi-Fi system was nature itself. We knew how to speak and plug into it, and those Mandelas that you see there was one of the ways that we plugged into her Wi-Fi system. So yes, everything that they're trying to do is to get you out of that matrix and put you into what they call the that there's a uh, the Wi-Fi that they're placing around you right now is a kind of matrix that they want to take you out of and place you in it. And to place you in that matrix, the matrix that they control is the AI system. The AI system is to take over the natural system that you're dealing with, the one you're talking about. That AI system is creating a virtual reality. That virtual reality is the reality that they want you to step away from your reality, the true reality, and step into the AI that has created the reality they want to control. And the system over the last 2 or 3 years, and what they did to those people worldwide, based upon what we see as the lockdown that came about, that was to get you prepared for and to become, uh, I guess, dependent upon the new system that they put in place. And the AI has been making templates of you. They took your energy signature because each person has a neural energy signature that is completely unique to them. And that neural energy signature, that electrical system that runs through your body, has a pattern that is unique to you. The AI now knows that pattern and is building a entity that matches your pattern, that looks like you, sounds like you, and acts like you. They're creating a whole other reality. That's why they're conditioning you to get in behind these gargles and get into that world, because that's the only world that they're going to be right now, that they actually want you to be in. They want you comfortably numb because they don't need your work anymore. They don't need you plowing fields. They have machines. They don't need you manning computers. The computers man themselves. They don't need organic bodies. They need to get rid of as many of them as possible so that they can have their own utopic world, which is not with you, in other words.
Hey,
Thank you.
yeah, indeed, I appreciate your question, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Sorry it took so long. I had to
It's,
get, because he,
no.
he, he had a very good point about the fact that we had a system of communication with the spirit.
Indeed, you see, you brought it up, Doc. So you ain't messing with them Apple goggles at all, huh? The Vision
No,
Pro.
no, no. That's the conditioning process to get your mind to create certain synapses. When you put those on, your brain is using the materials that create specific neural ganglia that creates the memory patterns in your brain. So when you become conditioned by the lights and all the different things that are in the virtual world, they're actually giving your brain information that you don't know that you're getting.
Mm,
And that information is actually forming a whole different ganglionic matrix inside of your brain that they're going to tap into with the 5G, 6G, 7G, 10G, all the way up. All of these different ways, these different ways that they're dealing with technology is to get into the electrical system that runs your consciousness.
mm,
Once they get that and tap into that, they can always manipulate the way you think and what you think.
mm. Whew, wow. All right, let's keep it moving. Where the sisters at? I noticed I got a lot of brothers in the back, and I guess the sisters be shy sometime to come on camera. But let's keep it moving. We got Jonathan up next. Jonathan Crawford. I'm
Hello.
hearing an echo, Jonathan. You have anything on that?
Can you hear me now?
Check, check, check. Yeah, no, I'm hearing echo. Wanna check, check, check. Yeah, it's something with your system when you put it on mute. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, something. We got Barry Tone Jones. What's going on, Barry
Hey, what's
Tone?
good, guys? Can y'all hear?
Yes, you good.
What's happening? What's happening? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool, cool. Appreciate y'all for letting me onto the platform and everything that y'all have done in y'all's whole career in the first place. Very, very grateful. OG, I was wondering if you could speak on some advanced grounding tips as we move into this very, very crazy technological advances.
Hmm. Good point. Get yourself a Faraday cage and begin to create Faraday cages. All right. The Faraday cage is a way
How you
that you
spell Faraday?
Faraday, Faraday cage. That's how you protect all your electronic instruments and how you protect yourself against the type of frequencies that they're going to be using to somnambulistically intone and embed frequencies that have specific types of information and different ways that they're going to control you to make you believe that the thoughts that you're thinking belong to you, and they don't.
So how do you use that when grounding? Because brother,
Well, the Faraday cage is what you put around your bed. They have different types of. You can look it up online. There are people that are actually working it. You could put your cell phones in it. You could put all of your. In fact, there are people now, very smart people who are building homes now that are actually building it into the walls
mm,
so that they can't actually, they have these beams that they can shoot and see your outlet and see your side, see who you are, see who's inside, and so forth. The Faraday cage definitely takes you out of that. There's other people who put it into their shoes, who have it in the inside of the soles of their shoes, and they have it in their coats and shirts, and put it in their hat. They even have Faraday hats so that they can't mess with your.
Oh,
they powerful. Hey, brother
I
Barry, I
never
want
heard
to.
of it.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question, my brother.
For sure.
You
Y'all
hear me?
stay up. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's see if Rico got his. Rico, are you there, Rico?
Peace and blessings. Can y'all brothers hear me?
Yes, sir.
All praises, all praises. So as far as all of this mind reading technology, is any of it correlated with the test that they were administering for that so-called plague the past few years? And if this is something,
We're not talking about that, brother. Do you have another question?
no, I will buy a ticket for the event. Thank you.
Appreciate it, my brother. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got to move strategic and be smart, family. Phil's going to discuss all of that on Sunday at the workshop, but let's make sure we keep this particular talk up because this is a real good one and it's important. And we got to protect this channel as well. Let's get to Royale Obey. Are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Peace, peace,
How
peace.
y'all doing?
All right.
Peace. Thank you for having me on. I just had a question. When I was young, I had a dream that I was flying through the air and I was going through the clouds, and there was like a field around me. I couldn't see all the way around me, but from my perception, it was all around me, and it kind of looked like how kaleidoscopes look when you look at the kaleidoscope. You're changing it, and when I started awakening and I started like doing meditation and sun gazing and different things like that, I started seeing that same field in this reality. Do you have any idea what that could be?
Well, inside of your eyes are water, and they carry specific color variations in the form of particles, and they deal with the color variations that you see. Sometimes what happens is they don't coalesce into the natural colors that you see around you. And when you meditate, they tend to disperse and become individual. So that kaleidoscopic energy that you're feeling around you is essentially what it is your brain is actually expressing, because the meditation that you're actually in is not focused, it's not concentrating on anything at this point. So when your brain begins to concentrate, remember your brain is what actually consolidates reality. Reality will fly
Right.
apart. So the specific particulates, the particles that create the reality that you are seeing, you're now saying, okay, I no longer want to deal with this world. I don't want to deal with the specific, the firmness of this world. What makes this particular thing a thing? So in your meditation, you're no longer you're not consolidating reality. What you're doing is you're causing what reality is comprised of to just go, give me the contents of what you are comprised of, and that's where you start seeing all these colors, and those colors essentially are there for
Oh,
you to be able to use them to consolidate a reality. Very few people can actually do that, to consolidate the reality that you want for the future. That happens in sex as well. When you have a woman that's working tantra with you, you can do that because then you are dispersing everything and you're focusing it on just pure energy that you're raising from your kundalinis. At that point, she can actually hold on to a vision while she's going through orgasm, and that vision becomes imbued with her energy, and you've created a baby energy, a baby signature in the atmosphere that can come to life, that can come real.
Awesome.
You
Hey,
know,
wow.
did I answer
I
your question, my brother?
would, I would,
Out of thought, I appreciate you.
I would like to see you take, notice. I'm not, I'm not no aspersions, but NASA, what you're looking on in your chest right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to. You and I would have to talk about what that is, and the repping of what that actually means, because
Okay.
that's going to be an impediment to the freedom that your mind seeks, because they're there to make sure it stays in lockup.
Mm.
I hear you.
Just
All
be
right,
careful, beloved. Just be careful, beloved. Just want you to know that.
okay. Thanks for the
I
question.
know. I appreciate you.
Peace,
Yeah.
brother. Peace, peace. Doc, we might have to, Doc. I'm gonna give you a call. The next Patreon I do with you, I think I want to do it on Tantra. You get that'll be fire. That'll be
Love to do that. I did a whole thing. One of my lectures on there from back in the '90s. I
back in.
have.
I think I vaguely remember that
Yeah,
you back in.
yeah,
Yeah, we need an up to date version. I'm gonna call you. I know you got a lot going on this weekend. I'll call you next week and try to
yeah.
set something up for later in the week.
Sounds like a plan.
That you heard it here first. Me and Doc got a new Patreon coming late next week, y'all. Oh, I can't wait for that one. Let's get to the next caller. We got my brother Dean. Dean, I ain't see you in a while. What's going on, my brother?
How you doing, brother Rich?
Oh, I'm doing great. What's happening?
Oh, he's
Yeah,
frozen.
yeah, you frozen.
My
Dean,
headset going out.
Oh, here it is. There you
Dean
are.
yeah, Dean, yeah. Your audio, I can't hear you.
It's a shame. I hate when this happens.
Yeah.
People really have been waiting to come in.
To come in and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, here you are.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
All right.
Um, there was something you said. Thank you for taking me in, brother Rich, Dr. Valentine. It's always a pleasure. Just to listen. There was something you touched on the other night, brother Rich, and you were talking about Bobby Hemmett.
Mhm,
And it's funny because I was actually watching a lecture that he did, and he talked about this transitional point.
mhm,
And he was like, he felt like he was going crazy. And he said, he described him snapping on you and
mhm,
going off on you, and he called you back. But I remember that. And I think I'm going through this dark night of the soul.
mhm,
And I had to question me. I had to question my ego and I had to question myself. But I found something profound where I was like, it's something that I think we unconsciously do because we have a savior complex. And I understood something that was so important was that ain't nobody coming to save you and you really got to save yourself. And however I had to wake up my soul, I had to wake it up.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's frozen now. He's frozen
He's
now, Doc.
frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could just.
Yeah, Dean,
Yeah.
Dean, if you could ask the question because you keep
Yeah,
coming
no,
in
I
and
was
out.
just saying, what, when you see these solar flares and you relate it to yourself and all these changes in the atmosphere, do you go into your place of, okay, these solar flares are making a change. I need to change with it. I'm reading this book like ISIS D.
Okay, I understand the question, and I think that as I was speaking to the beloved brother before you about that NASA and the entire way that they have given you a specific narrative about the reality of our world. The
Mhm.
solar flares are actually a cleansing mechanism that the sun gives off in
Yep.
order to purge the atmosphere of thoughts that would cause certain types of energies to actually wreak havoc on this planet. You're talking about what's getting ready to go down, where they talk about uh, hurricanes and volcanoes. All of these, the solar flares, the sun, you have to stop looking at the sun as something 95 million miles away. It's not 92 million miles away. That's nonsense. The
Mhm.
sun is about maybe 5,500 miles in the air. It
Mhm.
is not circling, we're not circling it, it's circling above us.
Mhm.
And what it is we are in a gigantic cyclotron. I see behind you that you have a lot of schematics, which means that your mind is one that regulates and works to deal with solutions at the microscopic level. So I can actually address you at that level. The
Okay.
sun essentially is there to not only give the cyclotron, the movement that you see there, the electromagnetic field that we're working on, it is there to actually manage the electromagnetic field that we're using that we call our atmosphere. It's there as a computer to make sure that it monitors the life forms on the planet and whatever it is that is going to disturb that. Every time a certain level of time comes around, and they can actually say that they can look at the sun and say, oh, here comes a flare. Get ready for the flare. The flare is the way that the consciousness that created the sun cleanses the atmospheres and prepares the atmosphere for what is new. It is
Okay.
not bad, it is good.
Mm.
That's what I felt that. I felt like it's a
Hmm.
communication, and I'm taking it as information. It's
Yes,
going through the earth, and the
indeed.
earth is, our frequencies are changing. The
In
human
your
resonance
breath,
is changing.
in your
Right.
breath. You have to understand that what it does is it permeates the atmosphere as the solar energies that you see permeating the waters of life. That light that you see coming through the atmosphere, that atmosphere is water. And what you're dealing with is programming information. This is light code transmissions. That's
Okay.
what the sun flares are. Some
Hmm.
come, there are certain transmissions that are already there that just give you them in a very benign manner. And then there's abrupt changes that are necessary that the sun gives out, and all of a sudden things start happening. Or
Yeah.
okay, that's the marginalization. Do not fear that because they want you to fear it. They want you
Yeah.
to think that all the communications get messed up. Yeah, but what's been communicating through those lines? What kind of hate and crap and pornography and all child molesting and all this kind of stuff
Yeah.
that's been communicating through those lines? The sun flares are there. That's your Jesus wreaking havoc against the so-called the people in the temples, the so-called people in the temples. What
Well.
is the temple? The temple is the corporate entities that are out there feeding
Mhm.
up all this crap to our people. So your
Yep.
Jesus is one is just knocking out communications that do not serve the better good.
No.
So I would say to you that you're on point the way you look at it. Your sun and your moon are the electric and the magnetic. It is a gigantic cyclotron, a gigantic battery, and the
Hmm.
movement of the both of them above are what's keeping what you call the energy alive. Everything is dealing with movement, and so therefore your thoughts now have to move in synchronicity for what is planned for the human race for the next 25 to 100 years, and the sun is preparing us for that.
Excellent.
Okay.
Dean, I want to thank you for your question, my brother. Good to see you
Oh,
again.
thank you. Always good. Always a
All right.
pleasure.
All right,
One
brother.
up.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Doc, you're giving some great answers tonight to all these questions. I'm definitely enjoying just sitting back and
Good.
learning. Shout out to everybody who came on with the questions. Once again, family, before we continue, we probably got about 15 minutes left. Like I said, Doc's gonna talk for 10 or more hours on Sunday. So Doc needs his rest leading up to the event. But I want to make sure I plug this event again before the end of the show.
Mhm.
Make sure y'all tune in. Your it's this Sunday, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Aristocracy of evil, the redux constructs of the new old order. It's gonna be fire, family. It's gonna be fire. Anything you want to add on before we continue with the Q&A, Phil?
Yeah, just what you say that if they're having any problems, they can go to. I don't know if you posted the rest of the information with the Sanu777 at Gmail. If they're
Hmm.
having any problems with registering, just send a request to my email Sunnu 777 at Gmail. Send that request, but make sure that in the subject box you put in all capital letters webinar, and that way I will send you directly from my email the registration link. Also, if you're looking for consultations or any kind of help dealing with problems that you can't have your job unless you know what, then you can get in contact with me at 800-847-1291. That's 800-847-1291.
All right, all right. Let's keep it moving. Make sure y'all sign up this Sunday. It's going down, family. It's gonna be an amazing event. Let's keep it moving. Who we got next here? We got Sienna the Superior. Sienna the
Hello,
Superior. What's going on?
can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, I don't know if I have a question so much as I just want to share and get feedback. So, um, I'm in a situation where I live in the inner city, and there's a lot of gun violence out where I live, and a lot of these people I do or did know, and I felt like over the years I've been living here, since I have been actively doing altar work and shadow work, I feel like on the spiritual side, my light is like the brightest, and it makes me feel like these spirits make their way to me, and I have experimented, and I felt like my ancestors guided me to do so because for practice and for experience. But what happened was I ended up like creating this spiritual army, so much to I had to take and create the different war elements that they're used to and put it into a separate altar in the garage because the garage is not connected to the house. So to me, the garage represents like abstract thoughts. So I put that altar out there to kind of free up some space in the home because it was like a lot going on, and I could feel that it was chaotic, although I was navigating in. I say I was handling it pretty well because I wasn't in danger or anything like that. It was just more so me interacting with the chaos that they were used to. And so my question is, how can I, like, what type of ritual or spell could I do in order for them to begin more so protecting the neighborhood? Like, I don't know if I should be putting more energy at the trees, or like, will that help? Or like, is there a bigger entity that's kind of keeping this area on the level that it's at?
Well, the first thing, I've worked with energies through a method they call sorcery. And my first question, well, my only question to you is, if you are going to be spelling, what entity are you serving? And what entity are you calling upon in order for you to have favored results?
The entity that has been, what I personally feel like that has been trying to pull this energy out of me is Santa Muerte. Yeah.
You're talking about the sigil of death.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you're dealing with the sigil of death, then what you're doing is strengthening the very energies that are around you. That's happening at this moment. You have to look to light.
Mm.
You're not dealing with the light. The darkness is here. You don't feed the darkness with one who brings the darkness, because he closes the eyes of the world. He closes the eyes of the light of the world to people and brings them into his amenti, as it's called. So you want to bring light where the darkness is. You don't want to bring darkness To where darkness is, you're only enriching and doing his job.
So would you say that the Virgin Mary is the better option?
Yes, you want to deal with something that has to do with light. You have to deal with one who contradicts the darkness, one who works against the darkness. And I don't mean just darkness that you see when you turn out the lights. I'm talking about the light within. I'm talking about enhancing the light within, which means that people begin to understand the responsibility for their actions. And you have,
Reflection.
yes. And the reflection is mirror magic is what's best for you at this particular time. Have you tried that?
That's crazy. I that's crazy that you say that. I'm looking at a mirror right now, and then I have another um mirror right behind it, and I haven't really tapped into the mirror magic yet. And but I know that to me, how they present themselves to me, the Virgin Mary and Santa Muerta, they are a twin to me because I'm a Virgo, and but I have a Gemini moon, so that's the twin. And I was always kind of teeter tottering back and forth with both of them, but
But your nature, beloved, your nature